This morning, I want to talk to you about why President William Ruto is incapable of governing Kenya. But before I tell you why, let me tell you 10 signs to prove that he is incapable of governing Kenya. The first thing is that President William Ruto has been incapable of forming government. The first time he was, after being sworn in, he formed a cabinet. Remember, that's not the cabinet he's working with. He has said that cabinet is incompetent. He gave us an incompetent cabinet where the government delivery services has not happened. Corruption has been the order of the day. And the issue of not delivering to Kenyans as well. So President William Ruto has not been able to form government. Now he has invited Raila Odinga to help him form government. Raila has given him the so-called team of experts. And these teams of experts have actually also just become like the other because the problems have persisted. Energy is still high. The issues of financial, let's say, economic turnaround is not happening. The second signs that William Ruto has not been able to govern Kenya is that he been able to pass any single finance bill. Because when he came to office, he found the Finance Bill 2022. He brought in this bill called Finance Bill 2023, which was declared unconstitutional by the court. The Finance Bill 2024 was rejected. He brought in a budget. There have been too many supplementary budgets. How can you have over 6 supplementary budgets in a single year once you have and you still have a main budget? He brought the Appropriation Bill 2024, which he was actually trying to pass on the eve, on the night after the Gen Z entered Parliament. But that also was rejected. The third reason is incapable of implementing his own policies, the bottom-up economic model. He promised Kenyans heaven and is delivering hell. All the people who voted him have us feeling so dejected. Nobody feels that he's going to do anything as of now. That's why they say Ruto must go, because everything he promised them, he has not done. But everything else he didn't promise them, he has done. Number 4, he's been capable of managing the economy. Since William Ruto became president, Kenyans' living standards has deteriorated. Cost of living is high, poverty index are high, corruption index are very high, unemployment is very high, alternative incomes have dropped, cost of doing business is high, ease of doing business has completely declined. So he's incapable of doing that. Attracting foreign direct investment has become impossible for him. The fifth reason is he's incapable of delivering on what is called government services. Since William Ruto became the president, the education sector has suffered from primary school, junior secondary school to senior secondary school. All those are suffering. Money is not being awarded to those places. He's not been able to ensure the capitation is happening. Teachers don't get their salary on time. The suppliers pending bills is order of the day in the education sector. Health sector, access to healthcare has reduced significantly. He has brought another animal called Shif and Shah. They are all scams and they're not able to deliver healthcare to Kenyans. So many Kenyans have died because of the fact that the Shif and Shah has not been able to support. Some of them actually are in poverty. They cannot be able to get dialysis. They cannot be able to get chemo. They cannot be able to have their diabetic treatment, blood pressure. Call it everything you want to call it. It is serious. Passports in Kenya, IDs cannot be printed. Kenyans apply, they wait for more than 1 year. If at all you are lucky to get yours, IDs. There is no IBC. There is no opposition. There's nothing is working really. Government services, if you look for them, you just suffer. E-citizen has been put there for just receiving money. Once you pay your money, you don't get ID, you don't pay passport. They're just collecting money. Collecting money, they are very fast. Collecting tax, they are very fast. Service delivery is terrible. That is the fifth reason. The sixth reason why William Ruto has not been able to perform as a government, that he's incapable of handling foreign relations. Look at the repatriation he has just done of the Turkish, because the president has what's called commercial interest in these schools. Now they are just threatening investors. So instead of just focusing on the investor who is protected, is a protected veteran, he has gone to repatriate him just because of his commercial interest in taking over those property they have in schools. That's what I know. Look at the Iran-Israeli-Palestinian angle. He was not able to do the right thing there in commenting the right way. The Haiti issue has been completely mismanaged. You also talk about the managing relationship with the fellow African heads of state. President William Ruto is among the youngest head of state in Africa, actually 2 years old. But he has been talking when he goes outside the country as if he's the prefect of all African heads of state, and they hate him for it. And I think that the person who's going to might actually face this thing as a problem is going to be Raila Odinga, whom he's trying to take to AUC. That's why I advise Raila Odinga, please manage your campaigns directly. Do not rely on William Ruto. Talk to your friends, talk to your heads of states who love you, have a personal relationship with them. Don't have it through the president because they don't like him, because he has been talking like he's their prefect. Remember, people like Museveni have been president for more than 20 years. How do you talk about Uganda as if you have been sent by Uganda to represent them in the US? How do you address the people like Shikedi? Shikedi is older than you in the presidency. You go to any other country, only 2 years old in the presidency, you cannot be like the prefect of the African heads of state, no matter what, no matter your position. Even Kagame is senior. So this is going to be very tough. And also he spews lies in the foreign. When he goes to a foreign country, he lies until the foreign media have to correct him. Like when he talked about the jobs, he's talking about Germany. The German media had to come and correct and say, no, this was a lie, this was a lie, this was a lie. That does not augur well. So that's the sixth reason. The seventh reason, he is incapable of lawfully impeaching his deputy president and also even able to nominate the next one and swear him in rightly. If that he cannot even be able to impeach his deputy president lawfully, he's relying on some silly advice from some lawyers who have no issue. It's just that believe the president is so powerful so he can push using the ego. But what we mean is, what is unlawful is unlawful. You cannot push something which has no wheels. When something has wheels, you can push it. So this impeachment was not having wheels. The nominating Kithure Kindiki has no wheels. I know they are going to bulldoze this legally, but for sure, if you see what is happening, he was thinking he was going to have his deputy. By the time he was celebrating Mashujaa Day, he didn't have it. So the fact that he actually missed his target, it means that it does not work. Remember, Bichuki told us the state does not miss a target. If the state misses a target, it shows the incompetence of the head of state. So he's incapable of even doing what he needs to do as a head of state. The eighth reason is that he's incapable of being a symbol of national unity. When you say the name William Ruto, even to children, primary school, to any community, do you see somebody who can bring you together? Do you see someone who can unite the country together? When you say the name William Ruto, the following terms come to mind immediately. When you say William Ruto, you see something coming: thief, killer, a devil, a liar, a dictator. Someone says an animal, and then someone told me actually in Mombasa, a wild animal. Wild, not just an animal, but wild animal. So those are not very good traits of a head of state. A head of state should be seen as a father. That's why I say Baba wa Taifa. Baba wa Taifa, where's kwa Baba? Because they say, the Bible says, Jesus says, when a father is asked for fish by the children, they need to give them fish, not a snake. Ruto gives his children snake instead of fish. When Ruto is asked for bread, actually he gives them a stone and a bullet, tear gas. That's what he gives back. When people go to the city because they're hungry, they get tear gas, they get a bullet. They get killed, they get arrested, they get handcuffed. That is what it is. So he cannot be a symbol of national unity. The ninth one is that he is incapable of separating who he is as William Ruto, whom he is as the President of the Republic of Kenya, whom he is as a businessman, whom he is as a president, and know how to have a union of that representative of someone who can rule a country. What I'm trying to say is that there is something in accounting we call entity concept, that an entity is And then the concept says that if you are a businessman, you are a businessman. But also you are a human being. As a person, you are different. So you should not mix your money, the money of the business, the money of the family. So William Ruto doesn't know the difference between his personal money and his personal wealth, the wealth of this country. He manages this country as a personal business. He also manages his business as William Ruto, as if he's not a businessman. He mixes politics, state, governance, private property, religious life. He's in church. He's a politician. He does not talk like someone who is going to pray. He lies right in front of the Christians. So that lack of separation and knowing that now I'm in church, let me talk like a church elder, a church leader. Let me not talk like a politician. That actually shows that he's not been able to actually separate. There's what you call, a president should separate his emotions. When you're in church, you have to go to God. When you are in your family, you have to really be there for your children. When you're a businessman, you have to look at the finances on how some things work rationally. When you're running a country, you have to think about the citizens. And he's not able to do that. He just thinks everything is him, everything circulates around him. He's so selfish that anything that does not work on its self-interest, he's against it and he can actually kill it. The last thing that shows William Ruto is incapable of running this country is that he's incapable of inspiring Kenyans around the Kenyan dream. Since he became president, the level of public trust has dropped so highly. The social license for him to operate in office is so high. It has become so bad that even if the president proposes that he's going to give people free bread, people say, no, that's a lie. It has come so serious that any project the president wants to implement, people already see there must be cynicism there. People believe it's about him. It's not about the country. That lack of public trust makes it so expensive to run anything because everything else goes to court. Everything else has to be battled in court. When he wants to impeach the deputy president, we know it's all about him, it's not about Kenya. So people have gone to court. When you want to launch Schiff, Shah, Adani, everything else, people do not have any trust about him. People smell a rat in every deal the president tries to pull. This makes it very expensive. Like now, if you look at the cost of what is going on with all these things, the number of cases in court against the president and the government is so high that attorney generals are spending billions and billions of money that could help healthcare. Like Amoya, since the president became to office, they have spent more than 250 billion shillings on laws, our litigation against the state. That money can build 50 billion shillings, can build at least five hospitals. 5 hospitals in every county. Level 3, level 4 hospitals in every county. It can improve healthcare. It can build schools. Why are we wasting time lawyers fighting in the court while citizens are watching on TV? When they are hungry, they are taking tea without sugar, porridge without sugar. So the bottom line of all this is that William Ruto has so much high appetite for money and power, and we call it corruption. No, having a lot of power is corruption. At the same time, again, looking for too much money is also corruption. So this corruption has become a cancer that has made the president capable. Everything he wants to do, there's corruption. Even you want to impeach your deputy president, also you are corrupt. Even something good for you, you corrupt it. And when you corrupt, it does not work. So all those 10 things have been corrupted that they cannot work. And that's what the problem. So I don't want to complain. What's the remedy? The remedy is that I'm urging fellow Kenyans, look at me in the eyes and listen to me carefully. Let us put all our politicians who are corrupt in one basket or in one horse, farasi moja. Tuwaite wale ambao wanatuibia. William Ruto is among them. Gachagua is among them. All the broad-based government, all those corrupt ministers and MPs and senators, one basket. All those corrupt politicians in one basket. Tuite hiyo ni basket ya wale ambao wanatuibia. And let us elect one of us, wale ambao wanaibiwa. That one of us can actually be Fred Ogola. Let us elect Fred Ogola, one of us, and send them home. Them here means those who steal from us, wale ambao wanatuibia. That will enable offer good governance in this country. Because for me, my vision is that if I get a chance to run this government, I'll ensure we have a lean and clean government. When the government system is clean, services can be offered. We'll work according to rule of law because there's nothing we're hiding. Transparency can be done. Accountability can be there. Integrity is the order of the day. But when you have a president who does not want to run a clean government, then everything is corrupt from top down. So corruption falls with force of gravity from top down. So everybody actually is being forced to be corrupt. So look, Attorney General, even if she is good, she has to bend the rules and start defending the president who is doing the wrong thing. If you are a Chief Justice, always you are being asked to do the wrong thing. Swear in this person when it cannot be done. But if you have a clean government, everything is clean from top down. So cleanliness, transparency falls with the force of gravity from the office of the president down. Then lean government ensures the government does not overspend. So we have low government expenditure, which reduces all the borrowing we are doing and putting money into the citizens, and therefore you can offer free education from primary to university. You can offer free healthcare in all levels of hospital. You can be able to give people medical insurance to ensure that people can actually be able to work. And for that matter, the country become very productive. Not too much bribery in every sector whereby you want a job, you bribe. You want to study, you bribe. You want a certificate, you bribe. You want a license, you bribe. You want a passport, you bribe. You want an ID, you bribe. You want to see somebody, you bribe. That system is so expensive that the cost of doing business is so high and the ease of doing business is too much. It's actually too low that you cannot be productive as a country. And if you add to cost of power, you add to other cost of things, then you actually cannot run any business that is viable. And if you mark my words and we do that, wacha tuchague moja wetu, tutupe moja, tusichague moja wao wale ambao wanatuibia. And then we shall solve this problem together. Thank you very much, Kenyans. We love you.